Chosen one, there is something sacred woven into the fabric of your reflection, a radiance not captured by glass, but by the Spirit itself. When heaven gazes upon you, it doesn't see your mistakes, your heartbreaks, or the seasons when you felt unseen. It sees something divine, something ancient and royal, the very echo of the sun. Heaven calls you the mirror of the Messiah. Your life, though marked by struggle and delay, has been the polishing ground of your soul. Every trial you've endured, every rejection that cut deep, every hidden year of silence was not wasted. They were divine abrasions, sanding away illusion until your spirit gleamed with Christ-like brilliance. When God sculpted you, He didn't simply breathe purpose into your being. He breathed His reflection. And now, in this era of unveiling, heaven whispers, "Chosen one, behold yourself as we behold you, not as fractured, but as flawless in reflection." The world may brand you strange, religion may deem you too unrestrained, but heaven has already named you, the reflection of redemption itself. This revelation is not about your potential. It is about your image, your divine resemblance. Once you see yourself through heaven's lens, even the air around you begins to respond. The atmosphere knows before words are spoken. Stay close, chosen one, and let this truth soak deep into the marrow of your being. Because when this message finishes echoing inside you, the mirror will never see itself the same way again. To mirror the Messiah isn't to claim perfection. It's to reveal reflection. A mirror does not generate light. It receives it and reveals it. That is your design. When the world looks at you and fails to see the divine, heaven smiles and says, "There I am." The Spirit sees its own movement within you, and that is why your life has followed a peculiar pattern. Why you absorb pain so easily, why emotions in others vibrate through your soul, why your very presence shifts atmospheres. You are not fragile, you are finely tuned. Your soul is a mirror that catches fragments of heaven others cannot perceive. When Jesus walked the earth, He was called many names: healer, teacher, rebel, Savior. But above all, He was the visible image of the invisible God. And now, in these end times, God has raised a generation bearing that same assignment, not to replace the Messiah, but to reflect Him. To reflect His compassion in a cruel age, His forgiveness in a bitter world, His courage when silence seems safer. You aren't merely following Christ, you are mirroring Him. That's why your spirit never fit the molds of men. That's why applause never satisfied you and attention never defined you. The light within you has always been greater than any light upon you. God didn't choose you for fame. He chose you for reflection. "I will polish them in secret," He said. "I will refine them through fire until, when the world looks upon them, they do not see a survivor. They see the reflection of my Son." You didn't walk through the furnace to burn. You walked through it to shine. And what you carry now is not ordinary faith. It is mirror faith. Mirror faith doesn't wait for evidence. It reveals the promise before it manifests. It doesn't say, "When will it appear?" but it already lives within me. That is your truth. That is your inheritance. Heaven knows your name, and that name echoes, the mirror of the Messiah. Remember, mirrors are not born, they are made. Before a mirror can reveal, it must endure shaping, smoothing, and purification. You have known seasons of breaking when dreams shattered before your eyes. But heaven wasn't dismantling you. It was refining your surface. Every betrayal polished empathy. Every delay carved patience. Every loss sharpened faith. The divine silversmith was at work, forging a vessel strong enough to hold glory. When mirrors are made, heat and pressure are applied. If the substance resists, it cracks, but if it yields, it becomes flawless. You yielded when you could have resisted. You stayed open when silence was heaven's only answer. You whispered, "Why me?" And heaven replied, though softly, "Because you are my reflection. I am purifying you so when I shine, the world sees me without distortion." Your heartbreaks weren't punishments, they were polishings. Your loneliness wasn't rejection, it was alignment. Your wilderness wasn't emptiness, it was the mirror room of heaven, where God taught you to see through his eyes, love through his heart, and move by his rhythm. And now, as the world dims, your reflection grows brighter. Those who encounter you will begin to feel something holy in your presence, a peace in chaos, a hope in heaviness, a stillness that defies understanding. That is what happens when divine light radiates through mortal reflection. It changes rooms without uttering a word. You have entered the era where you no longer need to prove your worth, because heaven itself will reveal it through your reflection. When heaven names you the mirror of the Messiah, it isn't poetic, it's literal. You'll begin to notice sacred patterns, coincidences too divine to dismiss, moments that align too perfectly to ignore. These are confirmations that you don't just believe, you bear. You don't simply feel emotions, you carry atmospheres. When heaven rejoices, joy bursts forth from your soul. When heaven grieves, your chest aches with unspoken empathy. Tears come without reason, but they are never random. They are reflections of heaven's pulse within you. You can sense pain in strangers, discern peace or turmoil in a room, feel a spiritual nudge to pray or release light. That's not imagination, it's divine synchronization. The Messiah lived this way. He didn't just see people, he felt them. He wept with the wounded, groaned with the burdened, rejoiced with the redeemed. And you, chosen one, are trusted to carry that same heart. The brighter the mirror, the sharper the reactions it provokes. Some are drawn to you instinctively, comforted by your energy. Others recoil, unsettled by their own reflection. Don't mistake this for rejection. It's revelation. Your presence is not neutral. It exposes truth and illuminates shadow. When people look at you, their spirits recognize what words cannot. Those aligned with light find rest in your company. Those hiding from truth feel exposed. This is why some connections dissolve without reason. It's not personal, it's prophetic. Your reflection is too bright for some, but perfect for those heaven assigns to you. Remember, even Jesus' light healed the broken and angered the proud. You carry that same dual power. So when resistance rises, do not shrink. Shine harder. You were never meant to please all, only to reflect the one. You've always seen deeper than others. Where most see faces, you sense motives. Where others hear words, you perceive energy. Why can't I just take things at face value, you've wondered? Because heaven wired your spirit to discern beyond sight. You feel dishonesty as tension in your chest, sense emptiness behind flattering tones, receive flashes of insight that later unfold as truth. That is divine discernment, not suspicion. It is heaven's safeguard over your purity. The clearer your mirror, the less room there is for deception. Jesus saw hearts before words were spoken. That same gift flows through you. You've felt different, not detached, just consecrated. Crowds exhaust you. Solitude restores you. Stillness is your sanctuary because mirrors blur when shaken. Your spirit was made for clarity, and silence is where it aligns. That's why nature revives you, why prayer feels like home, why vanishing from noise renews your strength. It's not isolation, it's calibration. Even Jesus withdrew often, not to escape people but to sustain connection. You do the same because his rhythm beats in you. Never apologize for your stillness. It is not weakness, it is sacred maintenance. It's how your reflection stays clear enough for heaven to move through. There is a paradox within you. Even in heartbreak, You emanate peace. Even in uncertainty, you anchor others. People say, "I feel safe around you," not realizing your calm isn't performance, it's presence. The Messiah's spirit steadies you so deeply that no external storm can shake your internal sanctuary. When Jesus slept through the tempest, his peace wasn't from circumstance, it was from authority. That same authority rests within you. You've learned that peace isn't the absence of chaos, it's the awareness of divine control. And now, chosen one, as the mirror of the Messiah, you will move through this world not striving to shine, but simply reflecting the one who already does. This is why anxious souls are drawn to you, why broken hearts feel lighter in your presence. It's because their spirits instinctively recognize the reflection of heaven shining through you. Your energy soothes what words cannot reach. There are times when you feel suspended between realms, living fully in the physical world, working, laughing, and moving through human routines, yet inwardly aware that a deeper current runs beneath it all. You sense the unseen. You dream things before they unfold. You feel divine nudges guiding your steps, subtle shifts in the atmosphere alerting you long before anything visible changes. It's as though heaven's frequency hums softly behind your heartbeat. Perhaps you once tried to silence it, to be normal, to blend in. But you couldn't, because you weren't created to disappear. You were created to bridge dimensions, to be a translator between worlds, a living portal through which the invisible becomes visible. That's why you often ache with a homesickness for somewhere you've never been. Your soul remembers heaven, and though your body moves across the earth, your reflection is always turned upward, toward the throne, toward the light, toward home. Chosen one, this is one of the most defining marks of who you are. You've walked through long seasons of obscurity, while others were celebrated publicly, while their names spread and yours remained hidden. You watched doors open for others, while heaven kept you in silence, and you asked, "Why am I still unseen?" And heaven whispered, "Because mirrors aren't displayed until they're ready to reflect." God wasn't withholding your moment. He was protecting your reflection. If he had revealed you too soon, the world would have distorted you, used you, or tried to dim you. So he covered you in divine anonymity, until your light was distinct enough to be recognized as his. That covering is lifting now. The hidden years have done their work. Heaven is unveiling you, not to glorify your name, but to reveal his through you. The time has come for what heaven has always known to be seen on earth, that your reflection was never meant to stay concealed forever. You feel when something is off. You can't sit quietly in the presence of cruelty, nor can you stay silent when truth is twisted. Your spirit reacts instinctively, like light meeting shadow. It can't coexist with what's false. That holy unrest inside you is the righteousness of the Messiah, echoing through your being. He too overturned tables when holiness was mocked, and you carry that same sacred fire. Some call you too intense or too sensitive, but it's not excess. It's calibration. When heaven's mirror sees corruption, it reflects correction. When it sees pain, it reflects healing. When it sees darkness, it reflects light. Don't suppress that divine fire within you. It's not anger, it's alignment. Everywhere you go, broken things begin to mend, not because you force it, but because restoration radiates naturally from your reflection. People who've lost touch with God feel warmth again after speaking with you. Families soften. Environments once heavy begin to lift. That's not coincidence. It's overflow. You are the frequency of heaven's renewal. Where others see ashes, you see potential beauty. Where others surrender, you whisper hope. That is Christ's reflection in motion. You don't need a stage to minister. Your very existence is ministry. Your reflection heals more deeply than your words ever could. You've endured nights of confusion, seasons of heartbreak, stretches of silence so long you questioned your purpose. But something within you is stirring again. You feel clarity returning, a quiet strength rising, a sacred light rebuilding from within. It's not new. It's the real you finally breaking through the fog. Heaven's polishing is complete. The fractures have become facets, and now your soul gleams with divine reflection. That glow people notice around you isn't mere happiness. It's recognition. Your reflection has aligned with heaven's light. Chosen one, this is the season when your reflection will move ahead of you, opening doors before you knock, softening hearts before you speak. People will feel peace in your presence and not understand why. It's because they're encountering him in you. If these truths stir something deep inside, it's because you're awakening to your divine identity. You are not simply a believer. You are a living mirror of the Messiah. The world desperately needs your reflection, pure, compassionate, unwavering. Heaven didn't send you to impress. It sent you to illuminate. Keep your heart clean. Keep your gaze lifted. Keep your spirit tuned to the frequency of heaven. Every step you take, every word you speak, every act of love becomes heaven's own reflection walking the earth. That is your calling, chosen one. Not to change the world by force, but to reflect heaven until change becomes inevitable. You carry the image of divine truth. When you walk into darkness, it loses its power to conceal. When you speak, even softly, heaven's authority reverberates through your voice. You are not a replacement for the Messiah. You are his continuation, his echo, his reflection made visible. And that reflection carries authority over chaos, despair, and confusion. When you enter a room, darkness trembles, not because of you, but because of who is shining within you. That is why your words must stay pure, your heart soft, and your focus heavenward. Mirrors don't generate light, they reveal it. Stay connected to your source, and your reflection will wield more power than you've ever imagined. God has chosen you to help restore the spiritual image of humanity, to show the world what Christ looks like through love, through gentleness, through truth. You are the living sermon people are waiting to see. Your kindness preaches louder than speeches. Your endurance is worship. Your reflection is revival. When you forgive the unforgivable, you mirror the Messiah. When you stand for truth despite cost, you mirror the Messiah. When you love beyond reason, you mirror the Messiah. And every time you rise from what tried to break you, heaven looks and says, "There, my reflection in motion." Chosen one, heaven is calling you not to strive, but to reflect. Stop chasing perfection. Stop shrinking to fit expectations. You were never meant to mimic religion. You were born to mirror redemption. Each time you see your reflection, speak this truth aloud. I am the mirror of the Messiah. I am the reflection of divine love. I am the living image of heaven on earth. Let that declaration rewire your thoughts and heal every wound that ever made you doubt your worth. Because once you accept who you are, heaven confirms it with signs, favor, and divine alignment. The atmosphere itself begins to respond to you as heaven's reflection. Angels move in sync with your faith. Doors open not because you demand them, but because your reflection is recognized. You were never ordinary. You were heaven's hidden mirror, and now your unveiling has begun. So shine without apology. Reflect without hesitation. And remember, when heaven looks at you, it doesn't see your past or your pain. It sees its own light, radiant and eternal. That is who you are. That is who you've always been, the mirror of the Messiah. Declare it boldly. I am heaven's reflection. I mirror the Messiah. And as you do, heaven records your agreement. And the world will no longer just see you. They will see Him shining through you. And when that happens, chosen one, creation itself will begin to respond to your reflection. The winds will seem gentler in your presence, not because nature bends to man, but because heaven's order recognizes itself in you. Animals grow calm, storms subside, chaos begins to hush. Even the elements obey the divine resonance you carry, because you are not a foreign entity to creation. You are part of its divine remembrance. Every sunrise was painted to remind you of your light. Every ocean wave whispers your rhythm. You are in harmony with heaven's original song, the melody that existed before time began. When you walk, that song resumes. When you speak, it harmonizes. Your reflection doesn't just shift people, it recalibrates reality. Time, chance, and coincidence bend in the presence of alignment, because when heaven's image moves through flesh, even the laws of nature pause to acknowledge their maker's echo. That is why you've noticed divine timings lately, doors opening at the precise second you surrendered, messages arriving the moment you prayed, provision coming from sources you never expected. These are not random. They are reflections responding to reflection. The divine recognizes its own. Soon, chosen one, your reflection will no longer just illuminate rooms. It will ignite movements. People will gather not around your name, but around the presence within you. Your reflection will awaken others to their own. They'll begin to see themselves not as sinners groveling for grace, but as vessels chosen to radiate it. The world doesn't need more idols. It needs more mirrors. And through you, that revelation will spread. Revival won't begin with sermons. It will begin with reflections. It will look like quiet hearts catching fire, hidden intercessors radiating light in forgotten corners, love spreading faster than fear. You will become both spark and sanctuary, flame and mirror, revealing Christ through simplicity and power. Heaven will send you into places too dark for religion, but perfect for reflection. Corporate towers, digital spaces, broken homes, weary hearts. And there, without striving, your presence will dismantle despair. Not through persuasion, but through vibration. Light doesn't argue with darkness, it simply shines. You will find them by resonance, not religion. When your spirits meet, you'll know. It will feel like meeting someone you've always known, because in eternity, your reflections were one before time divided them. You didn't scroll here. You were summoned here. Heaven brought you to this exact moment to remember what the noise tried to make you forget. You are the reflection of something eternal. So pause, breathe, feel the pulse in your chest. That's not random rhythm, that's resonance with the divine. If this message stirred something deep, don't let it fade. Let it mark you. Share it, speak it, reflect it. Let someone else who's forgotten their light remember through yours. Because this isn't just inspiration, it's activation. You are not watching a video. You're witnessing a mirror awakening. If you feel it, claim it. Write it in the comments. I am the mirror of the Messiah. Let heaven see your agreement. And before you scroll, hit that subscribe. Share this with another reflection waiting to rise, and keep walking in that holy rhythm, because your reflection is about to change everything.